Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Living Divinity. I want to thank everybody who has been with me from the beginning to now. Thank you so much. This past week, a few have trickled in for the new subscribers, so thank you all. Without you, there's no need for me to be here. I want to thank God for the opportunity that I could read for all of you today. And, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time right now, and it's overcast. So I didn't want to put any light, so I have 2 candles going, and I don't want to creep you all out, but I just didn't want the overhead light. So the card that we pulled for you today for the Miracles Now, I welcome abundance, and I will pay attention to the guidance I receive. So, abundance comes in many forms. Abundance could be, everything's paid for and you got a couple dollars to hold on to. Like all of your month's bills are paid up and you have plenty of food. So abundance comes in different sizes. I believe that God is going to bless someone out there, maybe with the abundance of love. Maybe you've lived your life and have struggled through trying to find the pieces that fit into your puzzle, of your journey, right? Everybody would like to have someone to have and to hold. Unconditional love, to me, means that you don't judge them. It's natural, I guess, in this world to have your defenses up. And the thing about your energy, I believe, is if you put out mistrust, then people are going to read that about you. In other words, if you have Tom over here who's meeting Jane, and Tom doesn't trust Jane because of things that he was hurt from in the past, right? So Tom puts out this energy, I like Jane. I think she's attractive. I think she's intelligent. I think she's self-motivated, whatever it is that Tom sees in Jane. But at the same time, he's looking at his past. Susie hurt me, Laura hurt me. All these people in Tom's past have hurt him. And what parts did he play? Is he just there to play the victim? Or is he there to really try to learn a lesson? Maybe the fact that Tom puts out an energy of, I like Jane, but she hasn't given me any reason to be feeling like she's not trustworthy. But because of my past, I have to bring that with me, which is really the wrong thing to do, because not every person's the same. Not everybody's going to treat you the same way. But what I'm saying about the energy is you will draw in the people that reflect what you're feeling. In other words, Tom has drawn in Jane to either match whatever it is that he needs to fix in him, and whatever she needs to fix in her, he will energetically read that energy. So it's a way to mirror each other's what we need to work on. So, for example, who I believe is my twin flame. there was a time where I was actually still married, and I didn't have any relations with who I believe is my twin flame. It was just a friendship. But there was a moment where he really touched my heart. And it was just the time that he spent with me. It's like it was faded meetings, right? Faded through divine. And the moments that we crossed paths, and we were blessed actually to have time alone, where there was nobody around to judge either one of us. But what I'm trying to say is, I really didn't feel like my life was worth too much. I really felt like, well, I'm married the second time, and I'm going to be with this one, right? No matter how miserable he makes me, I'm going to stay with this one because I don't want to go through another divorce. I don't want this relationship to fall apart. At the same time, it was like I was allowing myself to fall apart, trying to stay in something that God didn't want me to stay in. So at those moments where I met who I believe is my twin flame, these faded meetings, he just gave me a sense of that I'm worthy, without even saying I'm worthy of more than that. Now, could it have been all a facade? Well, I guess it could be, but I don't really believe that. I believe they were faded meetings, and it was to let me know that I deserved better than what I was getting. Anywho, moving forward, I welcome abundance. If you're looking for the abundance of love, right, you become that abundance that you're looking for. What you seek will seek you. So putting to the test all these different things that I've learned the past 4 or 5 years, I've seen where God has performed miracles in my life, taking me from a broken heart to who I am today. And the real test is when I do meet the one that God has for me. If it is in fact the person from my past who I actually told him he was my twin flame, and that we were supposed to get married, and we were supposed to have family, and we were supposed to have a son with a real purpose. The child would have like this super purpose to help the world go through the changes, to bring more love, more abundance, more happiness, more joy into the world. In any event, it's not that I'm saying that that God doesn't come through. I need to hold on to faith, and I need to hold on to hope that it's very possible that there will be another to come in for me if my twin flame is choosing his own free will. That part of the journey is surrendering to Spirit and saying, God, I'm asking that I give my free will to you, and I live your will, dear Lord, something like that. And it's very possible that my twin flame has not chosen that yet. So I always say whatever will be, and the Lord has secured my life. My plans for the rest of my life is to speak of God and how He's touched my life in so many ways. From the time I was born all the way to now. So, I started my autobiography. I got up to around age 20, and all my information was lost, so I have to start again. But I think it'll move kind of faster because I had a big delay when it came time to my mother passing away. It was a hard thing that I had to work through, and I worked through that. So I got up to the point where my first marriage, and I feel like every time I'm writing something, I'm finding new things that I'm discovering from the past and how it fits into, my puzzle piece of my life. So I spoke to my daughter and I said, well, I couldn't do anything about the writing of the time that I was with her dad because I had a loss of her, and it was just hard to bear to go through that. But now I'm in contact with her, so I really have to, put it to the grinder, I guess, and get the work done. So the abundance in creativity, the abundance in having innovative thoughts. Your innovative thoughts are through your intelligence, and your intelligence is through your bloodline. And the saying, they don't fall far from the apple tree, right? Is I want to make sure you use the right word, indicative of who you are, of how smart you really are. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but some people, some people's heritage is the fruit is close to the ground. Okay, so in other words, the moral bar is not really raised that high. So if you come from someone who has the mentality, the mindset of what they call lower vibe people, chances are when you're born into that, then you kind of live it. But at the same time, you could have that in your family, and you could decide to ask for more in your life, right? So the abundance again could be financial, it could be in health, it could be in love, it could be whatever abundance it is you're looking for. And the thing is to put to the test of what I've learned. What have I learned through this journey, this spiritual journey? So I'm kind of hoping that God brings in the one for me, so I can put what I've learned to the test. Is it actually, can it happen for me that what I seeks me, and can I have that number 11? The 11 in the tarot cards is the balance card. Can I have that in my life? Can I have the temperance in my life to not add too much fire to the flame, to overburn it or to smother it? Can I have a balance in there to keep that flame alive? And it's the thing for me is I have to realize that I've always really been the giver. I've always been the one to say, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do that. And I don't know if I could change that. I have to change that, because if I want that cup half full, right? If I want to just keep it half full, when I have that person and we share that half a cup, he needs to have the other half to fill it up, right? Because that's how you get a full cup. Other than that, if the person coming into my life has always been the one to fill it up, and I've always been the one to fill it up, then, I guess it could be good, because it'll be overflowing, right? Overflowing, but neither one of us will feel like we haven't done enough. That, I would feel like he's done enough, and he would feel like I've done enough, and together we have that overflowing cup of love. So in that sense, so whatever abundance you're praying for, appreciate what you have, be thankful, say a prayer to the good Lord, the Creator, about what abundance you're looking for. And, jot it down, journal it, write down the things specifically that you're looking for. And you could even have one of those prayer boards, or I forget what else they call it, like a memory board, like to remind you. I prayed for that, and I have faith it's coming in. What am I personally doing to help it come into fruition? And listen to your guides, listen to your inner gut, listen to whatever innovative ideas you're having, and kind of move forward with it. Okay, so this card I like to actually keep out, and that is return to sender. Protect your energy is a part of self-love. So the power of using your voice. Return to sender. It's good and bad. The good, I believe God allows you to accept. The bad, you don't want it to touch you, right? And whoever's out there issuing out negativity into the world, let them have it back. Okay, so my handwritten cards that I pulled for this reading is remember God's promise. You can do anything you set your mind to do. And your person might be wanting to tell you this. I'm ready to fully love you, protect you. I want to be a good provider. Okay, this feels like a message from Spirit to me. Rejuvenate your spirit with love. So when you're feeling a little drained, when you're feeling a little tired, love yourself a little bit more, whether that's resting, taking some time off, going hiking, exercising, eating a really good nutritious meal, pampering yourself. The true essence of who you are. Shine through, baby. The true essence of who you are. So many times we're taught to put on masks, and we're taught to do certain things and be a certain way. I was taught not to ask the teachers for anything. You just listen to your teacher and you go to work and do your work. And there were times when I really needed to talk to them, but because of how I was raised, I had to hold it all in, right? We should allow our children to speak and use their imagination and teach them how to be loving and respectful in a way that is how do we say it? That teaches them how to have that for themselves. If you don't love yourself, if you don't respect yourself, you can't love or respect anybody. Okay, so that's the thing. That's very important. Okay, make the choices that pleases you, that please you. That is your reward. So, for example, I said earlier that I've always been the one that did all the household chores, and I'd even get on the lawnmower and cut the lawn because I just liked doing that. I liked washing the cars. I liked keeping a clean house, a really clean house when I was in my 20s and 30s. And I still feel like I'm a clean person, just probably not to the extreme that I was in my 20s and 30s, because I could get really erratic about the house being super clean one day and then the next day it looks like a disaster zone. But make the choices that please you, that is your reward. So I chose to be the one to do everything because I know how I want it to look, and I know how clean that I want it. And I just always felt like I would take the burden off of my spouse. Okay? But in the end, I was the workhorse and they were the puppet master. Okay, so it didn't really pan out, and the cup was always filled in the wrong way. I say, put it that way. Okay. Okay, the back of this card. Stop lying. When you shortchange the truth, you're living a lie. Okay, that's when you shortchange it or add to it. It's like what they say about the fisherman story. He went out, he caught a big huge fish. It weighed 15 pounds and it was 30 inches when in reality it was 3 inches and it weighed about 6 ounces. Okay, now I guess that's a great fishing story, if you want to call it a story, whatever. But living a lie, you're just lying to yourself. If you're not fully in, it's like, to me, it's like if you are not taking full responsibilities of what happens in your life, if you're relying on other people to make decisions for you, or say someone who goes to work Monday through Friday and has a 9-to-5 job. If they think that's doing all the work that they need to do, they're really fooling themselves. If you really believe that, I did my 40 hours, I don't have to do anymore. Well, if you don't do anymore and you own a house, right, there's going to come a time when your exterior needs to be power washed. You might have to repave your driveway. You might have to put a new roof on. You might have to put, do some remodels, whatever it is. So if you're just working Monday through Friday and not really thinking about your future per se, like being readied for future events that will cost a pretty penny to repair. So you you really have to invest in yourself. You really have to invest in your family. You really have to invest love, care, finance. You have to think outside of the box. You have to move forward into your future so that you can have the abundance you need in the future if you start today. Okay, so I could tell you a few stories about that, but let me move it forward. So, an emotional person going through emotional pain. How do we handle our emotions? Do we get a little spastic? Do we go talk to every Tom, Dick, and Harry looking for an answer? Do we close ourselves off and go into a depression? How do we handle the things that we're going through? I'll tell you, out of my lifetime, I've played the victim, and I actually took on too much more than I could handle as far as that cup, right? That cup being half full. I took on way more than what was my share. And I was kind of raised that way, you know. I was raised to do a little bit more because then I don't know anybody anything in the end. And I've always done a little extra, and in relationships I did a lot extra. But anyways, handling your emotions. I've done everything but going to God. All the years of my life, I've done everything. I've tried to work on everything by myself until in 2019, I sat up in my bed and I said, all right, God, I'm ready to take the leap of faith. That's the first, 5 years ago, I was 57, 56, 57. I said, all right, God, I'm ready to take that leap of faith. And that was what changed my life. Having the miracles come into my life, seeing the changes that I've gone through, understanding more about where I came from. Understanding the reasons why I've gone through the things that I've gone through. It's like I've seen things happen. It's like you could consider me like an orphan. I lost my mom when I was almost 12, and my dad was not in the picture around when I was in 8th grade until way later. So people, I can't really speak about how people saw me because that would be a lie, because I've never, I can only tell you what I think they saw. But I've always been one of those that does extra. I want to know everything regarding a job so that I can hold value there, right? And I always work super hard on my jobs, and I always tried to be innovative. If I could find a shortcut that didn't mess with the quality, then I was all for it. But to go through life and not have that abundance of love, I had to learn to fill my own cup of love. And with God's grace, I came out the other side. Okay, if you could understand that. So, yes, God's grace, God's forgiveness, God's love, inviting God into your soul, inviting Creator, Spirit, Source, the Most High, Heavenly Father, whatever your name for Him is. Invite Him into your life. And when you say those words, I surrender my will to God's will, then whatever God brings you, it's going to be something worth cherishing, right? Okay, so we're 30 minutes in. I combined 2 decks of cards, so it was kind of interesting because I kind of just I got one deck out and I do my shuffling thing where I spread them out and you know, I hold the deck in like 4 different little sections and I pan out the cards because I have an arthritic thumb and I'm not very good at shuffling, so I have to shuffle them the way I know. Anyway, so then I get the 4 little stacks that I put in. I kind of mesh them in with each other, so it's like a good thorough shuffle. All the cards that originally touched each other were no longer touching each other that I know of, okay, because of the shuffle. So I cut the cards and I pulled out like, I don't know, 10 or 15 cards. And then I got the next deck and I did the same thing, right? I think the second deck was 1 card less. But as I had them stacked next to each other, I pulled the first card of each one all the way to the end. So let's see how we're going to do this. Okay. So I'm just going to go through, and we have hope. We have the Queen of Gabriel. Passionate, charming, brilliant, independent. You can do anything right now. Go after what you want. The ability to attract helpful people. Okay. So the next 2 cards. 9 of Ariel. Your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success, a love for the beautiful things in life. And love begins. So we have a 9 that goes to a 1. Okay. Or, I mean, not to say that the 9's going to be over because you're starting new. These are just how the cards came out. Okay, so the next 2 cards, 4 of Michael. Insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep or time off. Seek relief from stress. And the other deck says triumph. So if you take care of yourself, and the thing is I told someone before, I said, well, the guy's car broke down and it was going to cost a lot of money, so he was riding his bike to work and then doing the job that he did and then riding back home. And I would say it's probably about 4 or 5 miles each way, which I don't know, if you're in your 30s, you can do anything, right? But what I told him was, don't get me wrong, you can do that. But think about how you're going to be on Friday, you know, after a stressful week with working with co-workers, with working with whatever changes your boss wants you to make, working with the people, the customers you run into. You know, how are you going to be holding up by the end of the week doing this? And I said, don't get me wrong, you probably can do it, but eventually it's going to wear you down. So, insights from quiet meditation: the need for more sleep or time off. Seek relief from stress. Release your stress. Figure out the best way to handle any situation that is in front of you, and you will triumph. But don't lollygag about your life, and don't jump too soon. I'm a jumper, okay? If I have this expectation to hear something from someone, like if I apply for a job, you know, they already know they're giving it to me. Why make me wait? Because they want to see me get out of my character. Oh, you see, she jumped the gun. Well, if you already know that you're giving me the job, how ignorant is it for you to make you wait? You know? I don't know. I like being the bearer of good news, right? It's like, I'm excited for you. You're promoted. Right? But, I mean, there's other instances where it's kind of like, and when I worked in an office, it was customary to have a return call within 3 business days. Now it's kind of whenever. What happened to business etiquettes? Is that the right word? It's different things like that, you know. Maybe I'm not changing with the world. I don't really want to change with the world, but I have to accept that the world is the way it is to a certain extent. It doesn't mean I have to fall into place with how the world's going. Okay? So, don't lollygag about your life, and don't leap too soon. Okay, so the next 2 cards, the Lovers came out. Archangel Raphael. Ask Archangel Raphael to bring you love that you need in your life. Make choices from your heart, deeply emotional commitments, the power of love. And out of the other deck came the heart chakra. Hello. This is a reading that Spirit wants me to do for you. The cards are following in line, right, with the message. Okay, so the next we have a 12 perspective. Archangel Chamuel, there's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. And I was just saying, you know, the world might be changing. Don't let the world change you. Okay? Hold yourself at a higher standard because you want more in your life. If you're out there sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, or every Sue, Jane, and Martha, okay, you are diluting your value, right? Kind of like a piece of jewelry, I guess. If a piece of, and I hate to make jewelry be compared to a person, but okay, so you go out and you spend $5,000 on a new diamond ring. The value, I guess, will always be $5,000. But I've seen, it was actually a fur coat, but I'll just keep it with a diamond. I've seen where a man, okay, the truth is it's a fur coat. I've seen a man before buy like a fox fur for his girlfriend and put her initials on the inside. And then he split up with her, and then he gave it to his next girlfriend, and she wore it like she was so proud, proud to wear it. I was like, you're wearing something that he bought someone else that has her initials in it. I don't know. It's just weird to me. I wouldn't do that. I don't want something that was someone else's, you know. I want something that he or she, you know, like if, whatever. If he thinks about me that much, like, he's not even really thinking about me that much if he wants to give me something that he gave to someone else and took back because they split up. Or maybe she left it because she's like, oh, so you bought me a fox fur, you know, F you know what I mean? I don't need it, I don't want it. You know, he could have at least taken that coat and got stitches taken out. It would still be the same, but at least it wouldn't be the same, if you get what I mean. And it's still, he would have had to put some effort in. He put the effort in to go buy the actual fox fur for the one girl and put her initials in it. To just blatantly think it's okay to give her a fur coat that belonged to someone else is weird. Okay, he could have taken the effort and taken the lettering out and put her letters in there and just held it a little secret and made it special just for her. But to put on something that belonged to someone else, I don't know, that's like wearing another woman's underwear because he has it in the closet, or I don't know. It's a dilutement. Dilute, is that even a word? You're diluting who you are when you succumb to. So the fox fur was $2,500. I don't give to you know what's. If it belonged to another woman, I don't want it. I don't know. I don't know. Is that a standard? All right, so dare to be different. Don't let the world change who you are. And the sacral chakra, that, I left the book up because I don't have those memorized. Sacral chakra is I want. I want. I want to remain who I want to be. I don't want to change because the rest of the world's changing. How about that? And you do that by going into solitude and realizing that your relationship with spirit really is the most important relationship. Go into solitude, find your rest, find your peace, relieve yourself of any stress, because the stress will kill you. Any anxiety, anything that is afflicting to your mental, your physical, or your spiritual, are things that need to be removed from your life, whether it's family, friends, relationships, work, whatever it is. Are you lollygagging with your life, or are you jumping the gun too soon? Okay, find your happy medium. All right, so the next two cards we have material and spiritual prosperity. You're asking for abundance. Well, here's your abundance card. As above, so below. When you are in touch with spirit, he will see that you receive everything you need on your path. He will give you inclinations through your intuition, your awareness, your connection with divine. And the spirit will help you. The Most High will send angels to help you. Earth angels or spiritual angels. As above, so below. And you become the sun, Archangel Uriel, or you call upon Archangel Uriel to make your life wonderful, to have a vision of your future, to appreciate today, thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. Okay, so the next we have 2 of Gabriel, working with ambitious people that you really share a vision. After that is heartaches and loss. You're leaving people behind that haven't grown, that are happy being stagnant, that are okay being the peanut gallery. They're okay with spending time gossiping. They're okay with fabricating against other people who have done nothing to them. They're just ignorant, jealous, unhealed people. You leave them behind. They're going to have heartache and loss because you were the light. You were the light in their life. You brought them up, kind of like, they have these little pity parties. Oh, feel sorry for me. I'm the victim. I'm the victim. And you were always there to, be a glimmer of light or shine brighter or make their day and do things for them, make them feel important when they don't even do enough to make themselves feel important. Why is it up to you to take up the slack? Because they know that you'll do it. They know that you'll give. You will give your all to try to please them, to make them happy. And you're left trying to just shine for yourself. And pretty soon, you might end up like that. So it's a choice. Are you going to go search for people who are more like-minded? Or are you going to stay in heartache and loss because you keep trying to make these people around you be happy, and no matter what you do and how much you do and what you give, they're always going to act this way because they know this is a way to keep you where you're at. You won't grow, you won't move forward because you'll always be worried about me. Okay? So next we have the High Priestess, Archangel Haniel. Powerful psychic insights, reflection and meditation that provides valuable information. Be at peace. Be at peace. When you choose yourself, when you choose what's happy, what makes you happy, be at peace about it. You don't owe these people anything. And these people don't owe you anything. You know that you've outstretched your giving. Someone has told you that. A high priestess, maybe a tarot reader, has already told you you've stretched it as far as you can stretch it. The truth, how you really feel. When are you going to stand up for yourself? When are you going to be 10 toes for what is best for you? When you do that and you become empowered, then you can be at peace. And following that is the crown chakra. The crown chakra is up on top. It's your like your antenna that goes to, the divine realms. Heavenly Father, the archangels, your ancestors, your spirit guides. They're sending you all these messages. Are you seeing the red flags in others? Are you seeing how you're not growing and how stagnant your life is? And if you plan on being whatever a situation, whether it's a relationship, work, or your self-growth, if you're stagnant and you're not happy there, that's the universe telling you to start changing your stuff. Maybe you're going to boss up and take the role of a king. Maybe you said, I've had it. I am going to be successful. I am stable. I have accomplished so much, and I'm definitely powerful. And maybe you're making plans, and understand that your plans will work out very well. Professional and financial success, using resources wisely. When you choose yourself and you choose what's right for you, and you boss up, you know what you need for a firm foundation, because you've lived life. You've possibly been in relationships where it was a faulty foundation. Maybe you were the one that was, putting in the, I don't know all the terminology for concrete work. Maybe you're the one framing it. Maybe you're the one that's putting in the rods, the stress rods. Maybe you're the one that's mixing and pouring and troweling and setting. Maybe you're the one that's doing all of that for your foundation, right? So maybe you've done it a few times, and oh, well, last time I did it this way, and it started crumbling. The time before I did it this way, and I had too much water, so it didn't really set right, or it had pits in it, whatever it is. But over time, over learning who you are and where you want to go in life, and how are you going to get it. You learn through errors, through failures, of how to get your foundation firm. So it's trial and error. Don't be afraid to try, because if you don't try, how do you know whether you're going to make it or not? How do you know if it's going to fail this time? You have to be willing to do put your neck out for yourself. Stop putting your neck out for others. How's that? So you make decisions. Release yourself. That's Archangel Jophiel. Release yourself from that which holds you back, and need to detox unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. Be the confidence that you need to succeed. What do they say? Fake it till you make it. Okay, so we have the base chakra. The base chakra is I think. Yeah. So this is what I'm learning about the chakras is, energetically, people know where you're at. Okay? So you could be a person who is very abundant, right? I have this, I have that. You probably don't even have to really work hard, right? I'm not saying you don't work hard, okay? What I'm saying is, if you're Tom and you're working next to Jerry, not the cartoon characters, but if you're Tom and you're working next to Jerry, right? You both make the same amount of money. But how is it that you have this, that, or the other? So a good example is my oldest sister. Her husband and her on her husband's side of the family, her husband's older brother, his wife, she's still alive, God bless her. She's in Vegas now, but her name's Cynthia. Cynthia and her husband made X amount of money. My sister and her husband made X amount of money. And Cynthia would come over. Now this is just talk from my sister, so but she would say, how is it that you can afford new furniture? How is it that you can afford a new washer and dryer? How is it that you can afford new cars? And my sister was very smart with the money. She would anytime she bought anything big, it was with income tax money. So, and she didn't just buy it and then let the kids wreck it, She took very good care of the things inside of her home. She bought a freezer, and then they actually packed it with rabbit meat. which I wouldn't eat, but to each their own. But she was very frugal in so many ways, and she could make things last forever. She still has like the same pictures that she had 40 years ago. See, I think her oldest son is 8 years younger than me, so he's like 54. So for 50 years, she still has the same pictures. And it's not like they've been beaten up or, whatever. She takes very good care of her things. And and that's what I'm saying. When you're comparing two people who do the same, the same amount of work, it's how do you handle your money? How do you value your money that you make? What do you do with the money that you make? So when people see that you have, they want to know, how is it that you have and I don't? You really have to take a look at your finances. You really have to, okay, for me, I'm not going to, I've never had any days of keeping up with the Jones. That's not me, Yeah, I had nice cars before, and I have a reliable junker right now. And I even hate to call it a junker, okay, because it's a good running car. But I've had brand new. I've had homes. I've had things. I've had nice things. For me, I leave everything behind. When I leave out of a situation, there's nothing there that I want. And I guess I'm different than a lot of women who maybe I was deserving of certain things, but for me, I after ending relationships, I don't want anything from that relationship. I don't want wedding rings. I don't want birthday gifts that were jewelry. I don't want anything that was in that relationship. Now, if I remarry and someone dies, that might be a different story, right? Because then I'll actually have a loss of them in my life. I'll actually wish that they were still with me, hopefully. But my first husband, my second husband, I never wished any bad upon them. My second husband, I left with love. I never wanted him to think that I didn't love him. And my first husband gave me a lot of hell. And his attempt was to make our daughter hate me and feel like she doesn't need me for anything, and that I'm nothing to her. And she's 28 now, and she sees everything just the opposite, not because of what I've told her, which I very rarely talked about the divorce in front of her as a child. It might have been 2 words when she was a child, and we were going through that because I never wanted to put her in the middle. I never wanted her to feel like a pawn. He did all that, and that's between him and her, and him and God. So energetically, I know that he's sorry now that he tried to make her hate me. He's after all these years, like, he knew it was wrong when he was doing it, but he felt gratification, like an instant gratification. Oh, let me torment her. Let me torment our daughter to get to her. It's the sick mind. Anyways, we never want to be that way. If someone doesn't want to be with us, hey, there's the door. Don't let it hit you in the ass on your way out. That's still showing that you care, right? But no, seriously though, if someone doesn't want to be with you, let them free. Who wants to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you? I don't want to be with anybody that doesn't want to be with me. If you hate me one day and love me the next, I don't want it. And they say love and hate is a fine line. Well, take that fine line and take it down the road, because I'd rather be alone than have you hate me one day and love me the next. It's too confusing. And it causes a lot of stress and makes people be unreliable to each other. And that's not what love is supposed to be. So anyway, so the base chakra has to do with the person. They naturally they're abundant. They are magnetic abundance, right? So people see that and then they want what you have. So, the next card is another one, the Magician, Archangel Raziel. You can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful new beginnings. So whoever this magician is, maybe the magician has been using the powers to manifest for their own life, but not, in other words, I think the last reading I said was something like when you don't value yourself, you could be like a slut in a slot. So some guy has 7 slots open. He doesn't value women, because if he valued women, he wouldn't have 7 slots for 7 sluts, and he wouldn't treat them as such, right? And if you are one of those who are in one of those slots, then you devalue yourself by waiting for your turn, right? You know that on Mondays he comes by, but all the other days of the week he's somewhere else doing something else with someone else. So, and this could be for a woman too. A woman could have 7 slots for 7 sluts, some male whores, right? Whatever it is, you don't use if you have the ability to attract, you don't use it to benefit yourself in that way. You benefit it to, your purpose. What's your purpose? Is your purpose to be a male whore or a female whore? Is that your purpose in life? Wow, that's really looking up. No, seriously though, when you connect with Spirit, Spirit's going to guide you. You automatically attract people to you. So your purpose would be to speak of how God has touched your life, how God has changed your life. Where were you 10 years ago and where are you today? Right? You're not there to convince people to believe. You're there to be a testimony to how God's touched your life. Okay, so next, the last 3 cards, we have positive movement forward. Okay. You see someone's on a sailboat following the guides of a seagull going into the sunset. Maybe you've been asking for that. Free me from where I'm at. Archangel Raguel. Fight for justice and equality. Rulings made in your favor. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't succumb to negativity. You're stronger than that. Once you realize that the people who have been being your puppet master, they have been trying to get you to think in the way that they think so that they can have their way with you. Get it? Like, you could be very logical, right? You could be very intelligent. But if they're telling you, oh, we do it this way, and if you want to fit into this crowd, if you want to expand with us, then you have to do it this way. You have to see it our way, right? Maybe you've done that. Maybe you've been doing that for a year, 6 months, 5 years, whatever it is. And you're like, hey, I just want justice. I want what's right for me. And they're saying, no, 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 don't go. Don't go. Are you sure you want to do that? I don't think that's a good choice. You're better off staying here with us. Right? It's all ways to confuse you. When you connect with God, when you connect with your spirit guides, your ancestors, you know what your justice will be. Right? You know, how can you balance this scale? By standing up and empowering yourself and saying, no, I'm not going to be your doormat. No, I'm not going to be your little puppet. No, I'm going to stop believing your lies. And yeah, you are looking kind of devilish right now. So no, I want to change up. I've already asked God to come into my life. I don't need to explain myself to you. I'm going this way. Have a great life. And there's the Chariot. So you have moving forward is your justice, and God's bringing you the Chariot. Determination and self-control, career advancement, acknowledgement of success by others. So someone could be offering you a new job. Hey, you know what? I've seen in you so much more than you doing that. You've already outgrown all those people. Come and grow with me, right? Come and build with me. Maybe someone's offered you that. That's an acknowledgement of who someone really sees you as, who you really are, but you've been wearing a mask to fit in to this little box that other people, feel like they had to decide for you because they saw your energy that you didn't see. They saw within you, but you hadn't seen it yourself. Okay, so moving forward, I hope that this portion of the reading was really good for you, and you could find some things in there to help you move forward in your life and apply it to your life and increase abundance of whatever kind of abundance you're looking for. Okay. Always ask for discernment first. Discernment is your biggest power that you could carry with you, to discern who the people are around you, right? We all have gone through trials and tribulations where we had to see the people who are for us and who are not. And that is why some people only have a few amount of friends. Some people have large families and they only feel connected to a few. We're not all here to do the same path. I believe that a lot of my siblings were, God knocked on their doors and they didn't want to do it. Now that I'm doing this, they're saying they want to join in. They're saying, before they were saying, oh, you're a devil worshiper. Oh, you're evil. Oh, Grandma would never approve of this. Now they see that, this is about spirituality. It is about a connection with God. It is a way to find salvation through meditation. Like people from India, right? They all, I won't say all, but in my mind, people from India they're very intelligent. They communicate with with the heavens. They are innovators. It's their intellect. It's how they open their minds up to communicating with the heavenly realms. Okay? And we all have that ability. It's not just people from India. It's not just people from China. You know, I say I love Jesus. I say Jesus is my brother. I say Jesus was here doing good work. I personally don't believe that it's only through Jesus that I can go to heaven. It's acknowledging Jesus was here doing God's work. And he gave his life. He sacrificed his own life for the glory of God. You know, it gets kind of screwed up when you got people, what was that in Waco, Texas, you know? That guy convinced all those people. And then the other guy, what was him? I don't even know his name, down in South America. He convinced all those people to drink poison. You know, those kind of things are, they're not normal, you know. But as far as my heritage, AD started after the death of Christ. What happened to my Filipino ancestors? Well, Jesus was alive to his death. Who didn't get a chance to know Jesus? People say, oh, well, you know, Spain went there. I think around the 1500s. So 1500s has lapsed. If the Spaniards carried Catholic principles in the 1500s, what happened to all my ancestors from the time that Christ was born to the time that Spain made it to the Philippines? If I agree that it's only through Christ, then I condemn all of my ancestors from 1500 before. And I'm not willing to do that, ever. And I say, if God wants me to burn in hell for trying to protect my bloodline, trying to make sure that my ancestors, that I don't curse them by saying that it's only through Christ, I would be cursing my ancestors. And I would be cursing my descendants. And that's how come I feel the way I feel. Anyway, so, moving forward, the angel number, we got the Lovers again. That is a 6. We got the Hangman. That is a 12, which turns out to be 3. And then we have the 9 of Wands. So let me just give you a quick description. The Lovers. Love, attraction, virtue, compatibility, harmony, triumph over trials. It's a choice. Intuitive decisions. It's a union. Turned upside down, it could be an entanglement, enmeshment, infidelity, moral lapse, vice, separation, quarrels, inadequacy, failing test. Okay, so the next one would be the Hangman. Delay, sacrifice, reversals, decisions, put on hold, review, readjustment, abandonment, rejection, betrayal, falseness. And the 9 of Wands. Stamina, discipline, strength in adversity, good powers of recovery and healing after injury, accident, or illness, preparing well ahead, managing delays, success after a setback. Lovers, We were probably supposed to come together some time ago. Because of the negativity that's, whether it's energetically injected or like spell work. Spell work would be like, hey Tom, are you sure that Jane's the right one for you? I don't think she's the choice for you. But I feel a certain way. That's because she's putting black magic on you, Tom. But you don't understand. I've never felt a connection like this before. So it was instilled into your divine masculine that you weren't the right choice. Your person hadn't learned enough lessons yet, had to still live life. You had to let him go in the hopes that if it was meant to be, he would make his way back to you. Understanding part of that whole forgiveness thing. He stayed away from you for all the wrong reasons. The wrong reasons that were made to look like they were believable. Oh, she's a skank. She's a whore. She's doing OnlyFans. She's got to be making her money somehow. There's no way that God is real. There's no way that God has covered her. There's no way that she's gone through all these changes that you've seen. It's all false. The negative will put their negative onto good, innocent people to keep two people who truly love each other apart. So these are the lovers, and I'm going to read the angel number in a minute. This here is delays. And this is your divine masculine who has gone through the stamina and gone through all of the lessons. He's learned so many lessons. And then there's the chariot. So let me read 369 for you because we're an hour and 17 minutes. I don't know if we're going to cut off. So let's see. Angel number 639. Angel. All right, here's Joanne. Okay, so if it cuts off, I'll just do a little thing on this. Okay, here we go. Angel number 639 is made of vibrations and energies of number 6 and number 3, and the attributes of number 9. Number 6 resonates with love of home, family, and domestic, service to others, and selflessness, responsibility and reliability, providing for self and others. Number 6 also resonates with personal willpower, independence, grace, and simplicity, and overcoming obstacles. Number 3 offers assistance and encouragement, communication and enthusiasm, growth, being brave, expansion, and the principles of increase, manifesting your desires. Broad-minded thinking, self-expression, talents, and skills, and the energies of the Ascended Masters. Number 9 denotes endings and conclusions and relates to the universal spiritual laws, a higher perspective, an expansive viewpoint, strength of character, non-conforming, the concept of karma, leadership, and leading life as a positive example for others, altruism, humanitarianism, and light working. Angel number 639 encourages you to continue on your current path as you are successfully manifesting support to sustain and maintain you as you toil at light working duties. All that you need, including love, support, positive energy, and guidance, will be readily supplied by the angels and the universal energies as you serve your divine sole purpose. Expect positive abundance to enter your life with a steady flow, and be gracious and grateful for your blessings. Know that they are well earned. Angel number 639 tells you that your prayers about your spiritual path and purpose are being responded to by the angels and the ascended masters. Listen to your intuition and the guidance from the angels. Take positive action as directed. Give any fears or worries to the angels, and purposefully serve your soul mission with love, light, and grace. Angel number 639 may also suggest that any aspects of your life that may be coming to an end and or close will allow for new opportunities to arise that will assist you with serving your life purpose in a manner that will utilize your unique set of skills, talents, and abilities. Be true to yourself and your chosen path, as each light worker receives his or her own unique assignments or soul missions concerning how to help with healing the world. Beautiful message for someone out there. I hope it's for many of you. Remember, without you, there's no need for me to be here. So